Our second story has to do with the VIX. So here's what happened. At 9:15 yesterday morning, there was a sudden bid for extremely far downside options. So it would mean that the S&P would go to like 2100 or something, and the VIX would shoot up. So that was what the option market saw. Then by 9:30, there was an early indication of around 1750. That was up over 2 points from the 9 a.m. level in the VIX. But S&P futures did nothing. So basically using derivatives to move the VIX futures market and have a nice little arb trading there.
Right, and it's some potentially very questionable behavior going on in the VIX. Obviously, they've come out and said that there's absolutely nothing wrong, and if there was, they would identify it quickly and root it out. But you look at some of the stuff that's happening, as you say, this 11% surge on an otherwise, calm day. Sort of out of the blue. And one thing that really jumped out to me about this story, which is fascinating, is a trade of 13,923 May puts on the S&P 500 with a strike price of 1,200. They were placed just before the market opened at 9:30. Now, normally, daily volume never exceeds 75.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that does look a little bit strange, right?
The circumstantial evidence is like overwhelming. It just can't be a coincidence. At the same time, as you said, SIBO comes out and says, absolutely not. This is all a bunch of nonsense. And like in February it was, actually, there was an academic report that came out and said, no, somebody is rigging the VIX.
Because this has happened consistently.
Yeah.
This isn't the first time. The real problem for SIBO is that, VIX has become such an important part of the sort of the market foundations, and so many things are now based off of this. This is used as a really a gauge of what people are feeling in the market. And so if it's shown to be rigged, then you have to change assumptions about all kinds of other things that are happening out there.
But you know that we've got some regulators in there right now really doing some forensic work.
But having an ARB doesn't mean it's rigged. I mean, there's such a fine line at the end of the day. I mean, when you wind up having, say, you're trading commodities, but you're also moving commodities, so they're stockpiled, so there'll be a shortage. Like, I'm just saying, like, there's an ARB for a reason, and you should be able to play it.
The question is that good news or bad news for SIBO? If, in fact, it's perfectly legal to do that, doesn't it make the VIX that much less reliable? Because it's subject to being rigged, essentially. How do you bet on it? Okay.
But playing it by 11%.
Yeah,
that's a big play.
That's a big play, no question.